Guys, John here, Mr. Forex Fire. Hopefully you are enjoying the series this week, and it got me thinking. First of all, yesterday, after I finished the video yesterday, I got onto the funded challenge that I'm going through with Fidelcrest, and I've passed. I'm now a fully funded trader with that account. That will be getting recognized later on today or tomorrow throughout the week, I do believe. The process I went through with that was had to attain 5% on stage one. Done that. This is where these guys differ from FTMO. When you pass stage two, which is another 5%, they will actually pay you half of the profit from stage two, and then you have full access to the full account, and then it's a 70-30 split after that. If you want to know more about those guys, there'll be a description in the YouTube video on here, okay? So again, that's where they differ to other prop firms. You just have to get through stage two, and you'll automatically get paid a percentage of the verification stage, which is about half of the profits. And then here on in afterwards, you will get a 70-30 split. So thank you for all the good messages that I've had with that. I'm pretty chuffed with that. Got the FTMO as well in process, and that's going really well. I've been in profit every day on that. However, yesterday I hit my first loss. Okay, the loss wasn't big, in all honesty. It was very minimal, but I've got no doubt I'm going to be getting through that. So we're just going to head over to the charts, share the screen. I'm going to talk you through the bias for today, where we are, and we're going to continue doing this with the Euro USD, and we're going to keep a tally on where we are. These are always going to be based between 8 a.m. and 10:30. This is my structured approach with regards to trading, and we're going to be doing this quite regular. The trading one pair, we're going to trade one pair only, concentrate on that one pair, and it's going to be between the hours of 8 and 10 a.m. If there's anything that's going to be stretching into 10 a.m., I'll do a follow-up with regards to any trades that's caught on there. But so far, we've done Monday and Tuesday. We had a couple of trades in here. Okay, let's just see if we can get this in. We had a couple of trades in here. Through the process, we had a win, a loss, and then that gave us a 0.15. And then bang on the end, which was started in the parameter, we got a 2.71. So that gave us a steady, a nice return on there. And then yesterday, we had a win, a loss, and then a win. From there, guys, that gave us a 4.62. The running total for this week is 7.48 going into today. And what I've done is today is I've got a swing point throughout the 10:30 till 8 a.m. this morning. We've got a swing point, okay, where I'm looking for the bias. The bias that I'm looking for at the moment is we've got a massive downtrend. We've got a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we're starting a bit of an uptrend here, but then we're continuing the trend down, because this did not break that lower high. So that's a lower high there. And then we've still haven't broken this lower low. So at the moment, we are in what we call an accumulation phase, which is this here. So there's one or two things is going to happen here. We're either going to push up above these two areas of importance, which I mentioned yesterday. If you watched the video yesterday, I said these areas were going to carry some form of significance, okay? And they certainly have. It's pushed through this area. So the bias on yesterday was correct, okay? Now this is where, if you haven't watched yesterday, I really highly recommend you go through and watch it, because my bias was it was going to push into these two areas. These two areas were the 15-minute order blocks, okay, one, and then a 15-minute order block and two. And I said it was going to push towards the 50% of this order block. and the bias was absolutely spot on. However, as we were taking the trades, I noticed within the candles within here on the 1 minute, if we go down to the 1 minute, just see if this allows me. Let's just get this further along. I seen there was going to be a shift in pattern on here. We had the breakdown. We're starting to go into the distribution bit or an accumulation, sorry, in this order block on the 1 minute. It didn't quite get to the 1.28. So I shifted my bias on the spot and knew there was going to be a turnaround. This gave us a stop out. We got the entry to the pip on here, and we turned that loss into a 2.33, giving us a nice growth on that day of 4.62, and then eventually giving us for the week a 7.48. From there, guys, we do have the bias that I generally had was correct. It just we had the takeouts of these lower lows or the lower high, sorry, and then the bias was correct. We pushed through the 15-minute block here, and then definitely into the 50% of that block. So that's where we are from yesterday. From there, go back up to the 15-minute, because when I'm doing the 1 minute charts, I'll jump from the 1 minute up 2 time frames to check on the direction. We've got this is today. So let's move in. So what I want to do for today, I want to sort of, I've got my 15-minute swing high to swing low. And I'm just going to mark my areas of interest for today for a continuation on the up. And I think realistically, if we have 2 areas, okay, that's where we're going to head and push down towards. However, you'll notice I've got an area here. Okay, we're just going to go into the 1 minute. Now, this is what I was setting this morning. This is the 8 a.m. I'm looking at the last swing, okay, the last swing point. So that last swing was this area here. We had the push out here, so we've got the order block. The 1 minute of the order block is there. I'm going to sneeze, just excuse me. Bless you. Bless you, guys. From there, guys, because we have invalidated this here, we'll just get the fire wand out. Because we have invalidated, or we had the push out, okay, we've had the push out here, we've come back in, and it's mitigated into the fire zone. Now, you'll see me talk about these a lot, the fibs, the fire zones. These zones are highly respected. So even though it's pushed out of here, I was expecting to push down into this order block. But look, when it's pushed into the fire zone, if you look to the left, what can you see? You can see there's a fire block there. Okay, so what has happened here, it's fulfilled the last order block on there. We just get rid of that. This has actually filled that there. The stop is just below there, and there's a TP there. There's a 1 to 3.35. Okay, but we didn't take that. I'm not going to class that as a win. I didn't sort of give that as my diagnosis. I was going for the lower side. So like I say, I'm open and honest. I would just change my bias and change my direction, I should say. So because we've had a breakout, let's get rid of these. Because we've got a low, a high, a high low, a high high, high low, high high. We have now got that as a breakout from here. Okay, so that's a TP. We've had, let's just see if I've got this set up as a BOS. No, I haven't. So we've got a BOS, so that'll be a break of structure. Okay. Save as BOS. And I'll be looking to shift this, just make that bigger. I'll be looking to shift this to possibly that there, with that as the area. And you could shift it to here, if I'm honest with you, if you wanted to go for the longer term. But I'm just going, as I say, my plan is always to the liquidity. The liquidity is here. So I'm waiting for a push down and coming back into the breaker structure area, touching into here. So basically coming down, touching in and going to here. So that's my general bias for this trade at the moment. You'll notice I've got some fibs set up down here. This is so if we do have a change of direction and a change of bias from not hitting these areas up here, I'll then be looking at, once we sort of break down, if we don't get it, and we get the breaker structure from here, okay, I'll be looking for a bounce off here and then possibly a continuation into one of these areas. And I'm just going to put a question mark there at the moment. But what we are in reality after is the continuation up, okay, into one of these two areas where the dotted lines are, because technically we are in a downtrend. Technically we're in a downtrend, and we can still meet these areas here of 1 and 2, simply because we've got a high, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, lower low, lower high. We've got like an accumulation phase here. We're just starting to climb out of it. So at this time and moment, there's no predetermined area where we can definitively see where we're going to. It all factors in on this here right now, whether we push up here and push up here. If we do get that continuation down, the likelihood is it might meet into the factor of one of these two areas right now. But this is where I'm concentrating on at the moment. Yes, we've got A and B as a possible, but we are waiting for the pullback to see if we're getting entry to get a 2.21. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop the share in a moment, which I have done now. I'm going to pause the recording. We're going to go back and we'll do this throughout the day up till the 10:30. Again, if I'd seen that order block this morning, I would have ended on there, to be fair, and we would have had a 3.31, I think it is. But again, 8 o'clock in the morning, it is really, really busy in my household with kids, and I missed that. So I'm open and honest. We'll keep it as it is. We haven't ended anything as such, but we are on for the week 7.48%, I think it is. And then we'll take it from there, guys. So I'm going to go make myself a nice cup of tea, have another bit of toast, and then we'll catch back up with you in a moment. Okay, guys? So I will speak to you in a bit. Hi, guys. So that was quick and sort of short-lived. Just going to make this bigger, and we're going to explain what's happened at the moment. So as you can see, the bias was we had the breaker structure here. The liquidity was here. We were waiting for the return down. What we've had, we've got a new liquidity area. You've got a breaker structure up here. We're going to make this a little tighter. Be up to there. Just going to get rid of some of the noise here. I think we're going to try and follow the trend on this. Let's have a look. So there's your entry. There's your TP. Right, there we are. We'll see. We'll get the entry on here again. The bias on here is still not going to change. We could be heading up to these areas here. This is where I'm looking for at the moment. But if the direction changes, we will be waiting for the break structure of this and also the fire zone to return in the fire zone and then a push down. So you know about that. I'm just going to get rid of that because I don't want the charts too messy, if that makes sense. Let's just get the fire wand over here. This is not ended yet. It's going to be an entry from there. And I get asked this a lot as well, guys. Yes, you need to factor in spreads when it comes to your trading. I've got a feeling that this one might push out and hit us out, to be fair, because when I'm looking at it, we have got some imbalance here. So what we might get is we might get a push down into that imbalance area, and then we might get the push up to the TP. We're just going to wait this out a minute. We'll see what happens, see how it plays out again. I'm just going to get this named up and balance. Save that. Go to template. Save as and balance. And we'll just wait this out. We'll see if this is actually going to go to the TP, or we'll see if it's actually going to go down to the imbalance area. Again, looking further down as well, we've got the order block, which is hovering just above the fire zone, to be fair. So if something did come to here, it could be, yeah, fantastic. And this might be one that I'm going to not trade as such. But if we do get the push out and the stop out, I might aim this for this area here and possibly look for the 1 to 3.52. We'll see what happens though. And then we'll call back. So yeah, what we're aiming for, guys, just to reiterate, is we're waiting for these higher areas to be hit today. That is the bias that I'm heading towards. Again, we are just moving the breaker structure area up. Once we see it's broke that higher high, because we're in the uptrend, once we get the intermediary price up, each peak and then trough is the pullback. So each peak is where we're going to move that new higher high. We are waiting for, when the trough comes in for the pullback, we are waiting for the push out of the BOS, the breaker structure. And then once we push above the BOS and it gives a new liquidity area, that is your new TP area. So in this instance, your BOS is always the first step. The second step is always the TP. So if we can just show you a little bit here with regards to, so as you move up in price on a buyer, that's your first step. You come back. That there is known as the BOS area, okay? It's only a BOS structure when the buyers come back in control and they go past that. Once you go past that, you will be marking up your areas as such. You'll be saying, right, we have broken that. That is going to be our BOS. And because we've broken on the ABC maneuver, because the first step is the BOS, and you are starting to get the pullback into here, okay? The BOS area, and we are waiting for the sellers to come back in to our important area of structure on the lowest step of the BOS, which would be the banker's candles, the order block, okay? And then the TP is this area right here. So your TP then becomes the step your TP then becomes the step from your high, okay? You've got to high. I just make this a little bit smaller. You have a high. And then you will have a higher high, okay? So on the uptrend, what you've got, you have from base level. So this is where we start from. You have a high. You come back in on a pullback. Do you mean? You come back on a pullback, which is a lower high, okay? Your buyers are coming back into control when it goes past this step, because these are the pullbacks, okay? When you pass the next high point, you've then created your first step, your first rung on the ladder. It becomes your high, okay? When you start getting a pullback back into the zone of where the order block is, okay, which is the last down before the up in this instance, you've created your higher high. So you have 2 steps, or 1.5 steps, I should say, because the pullback is not completed until you officially get to this sort of area here, which is what we've done there, guys. So now we have hit a profit today, and I'm doing this right in front of your eyes. We've got a profit there today of 2.07%. There's the first one in from today. Little bit gutted, because what would have happened if I'd seen that first trade today, that would have been a 3% on there as well. But again, we live and learn. And we're going to total these up towards the end. And I hope this little bit made sense. Watch the video back and let me know. Okay, so what we'll do is gonna just get rid of some of the noise on here. And then this was a 2.07 completion. So it's a 2.07 completion. And I just made that 20. That's a 2.07. So now I just need to get rid of this. Get rid of this. And we could technically get rid of that for now. It's respected that area pretty well, to be fair. It's simply because it's getting near the magnet. It's actually broke the structure of that. Let's just take a look. That's a 2.07. Again, TP, you're technically looking there. Let's just take a look. So I'm just going to leave a TP there. I want the breaker structure. I want that to be a breaker structure now, to be honest. And then once we get that breaker structure up there, I'm then going to be looking at an entry down to here, okay? So I'm just going to pause the video for a moment or two, and then we'll be back. I hope you're taking some sort of light bulb moment with these things and what I look at. We are generally looking for, on a morning, we are generally looking from a 1 minute aspect. We are looking at the 15-minute. We go up two time frames, see where we are with regards to the general trend. Is it on the up? Is it on the down? Have the swing points, and then have our fire zones, and predetermine what is the actionable trend. And what I mean by action, what I mean by actionable trend, where's the continuation heading? Is it within the zones? Look for your fire zones area. Look for your 2 areas of interest, which is above on this instance, which is where we have at the moment. And we're going to head towards the trend on the bias heading towards that. Now, if we catch these trades on the trend, when you get your A, which creates the buying, when the buyers get in control and they lose momentum and they drop the ball and starts coming down the hill, when you create that A, that then there becomes the step called the BOS. you get your pullback as the ball's rolling down the hill with the buyers, okay? The sellers, sorry, when the buyers pick that ball back up and they race back up that hill and they go shooting past that first step, which is what we're calling step one, which is the breaker structure, and they push out towards that. Once they start getting tired and they drop the ball again, you've got the second step. So you've got step one, then you have step two. Once the step two starts to dissipate and it comes back down, okay, we are then waiting for the entry of an order block underneath the break of structure for the retracement. And step two, where you've had the A, B, C, the C becomes the liquidity area where we head towards the TP, if that makes sense. So let's just take a look at this. Yeah, I'm going to pause the video for now, let the trades breathe a little bit, and we'll come back in a moment. It's anything else that I'm looking at. Okay, guys? So I'm just going to pause the video for now. We'll be back in a second. Back once again, guys, and just go straight to the share screen. Get that handsome Geordie face of mine a bit bigger. And let's focus in on where we are. So we are gladly heading towards the first line of interest, the first POI of the fire zone. And we've broken the structure here. Okay, so I'm now going to go for a long. Just going to have this here. TP just below this here, the BOS. Again, I will have it set at that, although we're starting to get a pullback here. So can you see here where this is the fire zone? Let's just scroll out, okay, for a moment. This is my fire zone in general, okay? 50% of the fire zone is what I'm looking at. When you look into here, just look at the powerfulness. It's just a pip or a pipette. It's possibly a pipette away from touching the fire zone. And I don't make this stuff up, guys. It just gives me extra. This gives me so much confidence when I do my trading, when I do my swing points, and I've got my directional bias. It just helps me understand that once we get towards that area, there's going to be some form of reaction. It's either going to just slam straight through the door and kill the zone, or you're going to get a distribution area and then a move, or you're going to get an accumulation and then a push. Okay, in this instance, it looks as if it's thinking about it, but hopefully we're going to get price decide. We're hoping we're going to get price is going to decide it'll come back down, and we would head up into this area. Once again, in fact, that might be that's too much. I'm going to try and do it from that one there and say just in case. What will happen is if we get a further push up into the fire zone, I might bring this trade up into this order block here. Let's just take a look. But for now, I'm interested in that area, to be fair. But for now, I'm going to predetermine that we are going to head down into this area, simply because if you look between that there to that there, there's a lot of imbalance on there, to be fair. Okay, let's just have a look. And that's our imbalance. There's a lot of imbalance in there. So I do believe we may get a push down to sort of mitigate the contracts in here. Again, I might be wrong. We might get the push straight through the system there. However, again, sometimes this can start getting a bit messy with regard to my zones, to be honest. Let's just take a look. I'll just get rid of that one for now. So the zones at the moment, you can see where we've concentrated on these, the imbalance. There's a zone here, okay? The zone is perfectly on here, and we have a zone on that, based upon that swing point. If you look at the fire zone here, it's slap bang on this order block. And as you can see, it's coming to mitigate at the moment. It's coming in to mitigate nicely into that order block. Now, will we see a reaction where we're getting the A, the B to the C? Or is it actually going to come down and touch into the imbalance area? It looks like it's going to be what I thought it's going to be. It's going to push, yeah, there we are. It's coming down into the imbalance area. Let's just see if we get the touch down into the, let's move that past that fire block. See if we get the drive down into the entry sort of thing. Let's just take a look. We'll give it 5 or 10 seconds. But yeah, again, guys, don't make this stuff up, and don't ever let the 1 minute chart frighten you with regards to its velocity on movement. Yes, there is a lot of movement, a lot of swings and things like that. But if you can predetermine your bias and understand when you get the impulse, the pullback, the impulse, the pullback, it's these pullback areas that we need to focus upon and keep our eyes on. Okay, so again, on here within the imbalanced area, okay, we treat that imbalanced area there, and we can see, look where this has reacted from. It's reacted from the middle part of the fire zone. And it doesn't matter where I put these fibs, where I put these zones, or anything else, this has reacted from the contractual area of the fire zone, okay, and it's took off. So you could have had, this could have been, if I delved a little bit deeper, you could have had this maybe here, and you could have had the stop loss on here. And this is just refining your entries a little bit better. However, if I just go back and I go back, this is technically what I had set, and it's what I'm going to stay with. But it's just giving you a more in-depth, more ideological look of what I'm looking at, and how you can get a more sort of condensed look. And when you're doing your imbalance areas, you can still draw these fibs out on your imbalance areas, and you'll see just how powerful, more so, what these zones are, okay, and what they bring to the table. So I'm just going to get rid of that, and I'm glad I've pointed that out, because you can see within that area, that is to the pip entry. That one there would have been, if this hits the TP on the top, we've missed it. But again, my directional bias is correct. I'm happy with that. And it's just given me, what's the word? It's given me more things to look at when it comes to, when I see big, especially on the 1 minute, big gaps like this of imbalance, draw your fibs out within that imbalance, and then maybe go for an entry based upon the imbalance area needing to be met. And this looks as if that's going to push through that top end. Let's just see if it goes. I'll stay on. I'm going to stay on because, like I said, I don't make this stuff up. I'm doing it live. Yes, this is recorded, but I'm doing everything live in front of everybody. And as you can see, what's happening is we've got our lows, our highs, low highs, high highs, low highs, higher highs, low highs, higher highs. Okay. If this doesn't hit the TP, we might come down. And again, there's going to be an imbalance area on here as well. It looks as if it's going to push down that, but I'm going to pause the video for now, guys. I'm hoping you're getting so much out of this. There may not be many trades in this. We've possibly missed, certainly missed a 3% one off this morning. We've hit a 2.07. If this one goes up to that TP, again, that would have been an entry on around about, let's see, that would have been entry roundabout there. I would have been looking at the thing there. We've possibly missed a good 13% today. If this one goes up and hits that, there's a 13% growth that could have happened today. But only if this based upon that hitting that structure on the top. But we don't dwell on that. We just keep this as it is. That's where we are. That's where the trade is. I'm just going to stop the share for now, and we will be back in the next, say, 5 or 10 minutes. I do believe this is going to hit that TP area. Look at that. Gotta love the 1 minute charts. Gotta love the 1 minute charts. And you can seriously get some good trading done between the hours of 8 and 10:30 a.m. And I think like I say, over time, once I get ready and things like that, I think I might start doing some live sessions within my YouTube area, to be fair. So if you want to get access to that, or you think that'll be useful for you, please comment below. Let me know if you want to see some live sessions. This will be open to people that are supporting the channel, and then I'll take things from there. If I get enough interest and enough comments, I'll possibly start doing that, guys. But for now, I'm going to pause and stop the share, and then we'll get back to this in a second. We're back once again, guys. Just go to share the screen. You can see we have I'll get my handsome face a little bit bigger. Kablami. We have actually went and surpassed the TP area. Okay, from there it was a quick entry to that imbalance. I should have seen that. Again, we've missed out on a 3%. Not worrying too much because we've still got a 2% growth at the moment. So from there, we live and learn. We live and learn. I hope you're taking notes on these. That would have been the imbalance area. Excuse me. So now we've had, let's move that. Now we've had a break of structure. Okay. We haven't lost anything on that trade, to be fair, other than a learning experience. So let me just get rid of that and get rid of that. We are now going to be looking at along. Again, see how it's respecting this area here based upon the fire zone. It's wicked and it's now going to start rejecting. I'm going to hope that we're going to have this push here. TP will possibly be there. Okay. From there, guys, I'm hoping for a continuation and trend up till 10:30 this morning to this here. Again, it goes without saying. Let's just take a look. It is the push down from the liquidity or the TP. Retracement, okay. The retracement from the TP is coming through the BOS, as you can see, and we're waiting for that retracement to come down to hit our entry on the order block here. So again, what you're going to have is, this is where we sell from, or this is where we buy from, okay? The buys have came up. It's broke the structure of the previous higher high. We are then waiting for the drop of the ball, and the drop of the ball sends the sellers into control, and it bounces off the ground. And when it bounces off the ground of the order block, we are then waiting for the momentum of that bounce to take us back up and push through this higher high, and then to go up to the liquidity area of where the ball was dropped, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's what we're looking for at the moment. Again, we are predetermining a possibility of heading towards here at some stage. Whether we're going to get that before 10:30 is going to be another thing. We've still technically got an hour and 20 minutes. It's 9:10, but that's where my bias is heading as of this stage. So I'm going to pause the video, see what happens on this particular call out, and then we will take it from there, guys. And I'm going to make this cup of tea. I've been trying to get it made for the last 20 minutes or so. There's so much going on within this continuation at the moment. But overall, been a good day so far. We could have possibly been in about 10, 12, 13% of profit. Missed a couple of nuances within the trade idea of imbalance and things like that. But we, like I say, we keep those as a learning curve. I'll certainly be looking back on this video today myself and taking notes, so then I know what I'm looking for as an identifiable areas. And again, I now so confident within my trading, I don't let the 1 minute trades sort of put me off or scare me, because I know overall, just between that and that, you've got two logical areas called supply and demand that has to be respected, whether it's a bounce from, a rejection from, or simply a simple push straight through. If you push it straight through, you just move to the next step. It's just all about climbing the ladder or going down the ladder, seeing what's behind you or seeing what's in front of you. Okay, guys? So I'm just going to stop the share and we'll be back in a moment. Hey, I thought I had a bit of fun because the fire is bright. The fire is bright, guys. Thought I'd had a bit of fun in there. So I'm going to share my screen in a minute, just for 2 seconds. Get that handsome, baldy, big-headed Geordie face of mine into the area. So going on from what we've done yesterday. Okay, I spoke about when we get to what we call a distribution phase or an accumulation phase. This is possibly heading towards what we call a distribution area. This is where we have a push up, a strong uptrend, and price starts to balance itself out a bit. Now, the reason why I'm thinking we're in this phase is, one, we are at our first massive area, a point of interest where we may get some sort of rejection. And I mentioned earlier on the video, we will possibly get the rejection coming down and sort of mitigating into these areas here. Okay, so that might start happening for us. From there, guys, if that was to happen and we broke the structure of this here, if we entered and then it broke the structure, I would be looking at a re-entry from around about this area here. However, again, why do I think this may happen? It's simply because from here to here, we have had 21 candles. So that's 21 minutes. So the bars mean candles. So that's 21 minutes worth of price action. And it's just simply gone, it's flatlined at the moment. So this is indicating to me that we are possibly going to see a reversal. So what I might do for this to be fair, I'm going to cancel this trade out. So we haven't ended this trade. And what I'm going to do is we are going to sort of start from, let's take a look, that to that. And I'm going to wait for a push out of this accumulation phase. Okay, so what I'm waiting for is either a push down and then the rejection down, or I'm waiting for a push up and then going up towards this area here. Okay, so I've cancelled that trade out, so we still protect that 2%. It's just something that I've come accustomed to and trained my eye towards. Again, in all honesty, what I'm going to do, and I hope you take notes on these because these are so powerful. I'm going to wait for the breakout of this, to be fair. Okay, I do believe we may get a push out down from here. We may get the re-entry from this order block here. So I'm going to keep that live and see where we head. Okay, again, the order block has entered for the buy, what I thought it was going to be, but I honestly think that price is going to sort of push through this barrier, and I'm going to predetermine the move is going to be on the downside now, because not only have we had the impulse move on the up, we have had so much of a condensed time within the candles. It's just something I've come accustomed to and over the years of trading, and sort of can preempt a move from a, there we go. So again, done it right in front of you. Don't let the 1 minute chart scare you. I've told you what I was thinking was going to happen. So now the bias completely changes. Get my teeth in. And what we are looking for is a short position now from around about here. Our TP now moves. We've had our break of structure, which is here. Okay, we can get rid of that. And I hope you're taking some really good information from this and what I do. And again, the 1 minute is fast paced. Okay, the 1 minute is fast paced, but not that fast paced where you're going to miss out on trades. Okay, because we had the push and accumulation on the upside. I knew something was in the air, something was going to change. There was going to be a shift of motion. We had hit the predetermined first area, a point of interest. Okay, and we might get a downturn back down towards these two areas here. So the shift in motion has started. Let's see what happens. I called the same thing yesterday. I knew what was going to happen. I called it right. We got a very good trade towards the end of the trading day, albeit we went and lost on the one just before that, but I was anticipating what was going to happen there. Called it, bang, right in front of your eyes. We've now got our determined area. It's still pushing down. We've got 7 seconds, 6 seconds. This turns green, then we've got our sort of liquidity area to play from. Okay, so we will have our liquidity area. Yeah, so because we've had the push down, the order block is between this and the high here. Okay, and we've got our break structure from the previous area. Okay, waiting for a touch up, and this is our TP. Hopefully this one might play out. We might find that this is just a liquidity grab on the low side, and it may push up into these high areas and then continue up into this part here. But I was anticipating the motion and the shift. To be fair, I was anticipating that move out of this breaker structure, and then just see if I can trust my process and my ability to trade. We'll see if we actually get an entry. I'm going to pause the video. We'll come back, and I'm just pleased I've caught that and showed you right in front of your eyes. Okay, guys. And again, let's go back. Get this right, John. Get that. That's correct. It's this I want to move. So I need to move that over there. I need to move that there. I need to get rid of that. I need to go back. Oh, wait there. Forward. Can I just get rid of that? Back. That's what I need rid of. That there. So we're waiting for the entry to come back up into here. The TP is, it's got to be just above that. The bias, overall bias is changing now. So we're waiting for a push back up. Okay. As we come down here and break the structure of this, liquidity lies here. So we wait for the return, and the candles start to get momentum. Okay, the candles will get momentum, come up and give us an entry to push down into this area here. So again, I'm going to get rid of that ABC from there as well. And like I say, guys, I can't make this stuff up. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far with regards to seeing this sort of stuff. Please comment below. Let me know if you're enjoying this stuff. If you are, I'm going to certainly be doing more. And eventually, long-term goal is I will possibly start doing some live sessions based upon this time and the time frame and strategy in itself. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video and we will be back in a moment. So okay, stop the share, and I hope you like that entry with the glasses before anyway. So I'm just going to stop the share. Wow, there we have it, guys. So there was an unexpected move. I'm just going to share my screen again. We had the directional bias, knew there was something going to change, knew something was in the air. Something was in the air, and we actually, not only was it going to be the breaker structure of that, we actually done the breaker structure of the lower, the previous sort of lower high. So again, this has now turned that into a loss, or not so much a loss, something we learn from. Okay, let's just get rid of this. Now this works well in our favor, to be fair, simply because we have now, we get rid of this, and I just put these over here. We have certainly had a break of structure. Okay, predetermined TP area is not predetermined yet until we start getting a red candle. Okay, again, we've got 50 odd seconds left of the 1 minute before we can actually have the TP brought into play, but we've got the break of structure, so that's step one. Okay, the order block that we are looking at the moment, we can see we are looking at that area there. Okay, so at the moment, a long position based upon entry, stop loss just below that low. At the moment, if that was a TP, it's at 2.68. Again, that will change because we have still got 15 seconds. I need to wait for a pullback before we can do a predetermined area of liquidity. And it looks as if the euro has gone strong. The USD must have gone mega weak, to be fair. But again, I did tell you this morning, my bias was this area here, and by 10:30, I was expecting the other fire zone. So this looks as if we may at the moment be aiming, unless it's going to push towards that. Yeah, it's pushing out with that as well. It looks like my bias and my prediction this morning, it looks like it's going to hit before 10:30. Again, still in a little bit of profit for today. Overall, for Monday or Tuesday, we're in phenomenal profit, to be fair. And the profit that we are currently in for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, technically, if you were in for one of these funded challenges, you would have been passing within the first 3 days. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to hold out, see what happens on this candle here. It looks as if the American dollar has gone mega weak because there's a big push. There's a big surgence on the euro. Yeah, the euro USD. Again, we've got an entry based upon here from this order block. If you see, it's come down and it's wicked. It's wicked beautifully into this order block here with a hell of a move up. If we'd seen that and taken that, and again from there to there so far, and had that as a target, there's a good 1 to 5.6. It looks as if that's what's going to do. I was at some stage or some point expecting a push towards this second area. Let's just take a look, and it looks as if that's going to be the move I was anticipating. But again, we have not taken that. We're just going to wait this out, see if it does push up and hit that TP. If it does, I'm going to call the video early instead of trading until 10:30, because that was my bias for today. In all honesty, let's just see if it pushes up. We enter a new candle and it's pushing. It's pushing. Is it going to push? Come on, guys. That's where I'm going. Again, this is where I've got my eclipse. This is where I've got the price where I thought it was going to go at that predetermined time as well. If this touches it, it's especially on a 1 minute to call this sort of stuff as well, guys. Push, 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 push. It wants to go to that fire zone. It wants to go to the fire zone. It's a pipette. It's a pipette. It's actually in the fire zone, to be fair. It's actually inside that fire zone, because if you remember this morning, the fire zone that I had, that's 50% of that actual zoned area. But we'll see. We'll get the push to complete the 50% of the area. But yeah, there's the bit of retracement. And it looks like it's gonna come back down to peter back in, to be fair. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back, And from there, guys, we'll keep this open, to be fair. We'll keep this open 10:30. Again, I'm going to have that as the area now, to be honest. And we'll let this play out. Okay, so that's the breaker structure. The TP is that. Again, can't make this stuff up. Very, very powerful stuff. We got that impulse drive, which is what I was expecting on my bias. Again, the general bias was correct. Halfway through this stage today, there was a directional change, which was the distribution, and then a push out. Maybe going on the further knowledge that I have, I should have anticipated that this was going to be the slam dunk move to get to that higher TP area. Again, I'm going to stop the share for now, guys. As you can see, my bias has been correct throughout the day. Just a shame we've took a one loss on there at the moment, but all's not lost. I mean, again, I hope you're taking so much out of these sessions that I'm doing, and me showing you what I'm seeing and how I trade, my thought process through this. So I'm just going to stop the share for now. We'll keep that as it is, and we'll see if that actually plays out. We've technically got it's 10:10. We'll see if we'll get that final play where it's going to come down, swoop back into that order block to then do another surge to that area. But again, the bias has been correct. I love it when I see things like this happen, because it just gives me so much confidence in my ability and what I do and what I see. And it then takes me further into the day when I do my own trading on my challenges. So when I'm seeing stuff like this, and yes, I could have had 2% and things like that and had it on my other account, but this is about me showing you what I go through and a learning process for you guys to get your confidence trading on the 1 minute charts. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the share. Again, comment below, let us know what you think, and I'll be back in a second. There we have it, guys. It is now 10:10. Okay, share the screen. Share. We get my handsome Geordie face, that shiny, slappy bald head, a little bit bigger. You can see, take these off, be more serious now. We have went past the bias on what I thought for today, so I'm going to call the video there for today, and then we're going to have our rundown on where we are at. Okay, and yeah, we're going to call it from there. Let's just take a look. Just get this whacked in. So we've got going from Monday. So going on the Monday, okay. Oops, go back. Going on the Monday. This is what happened. We lost, we won, we lost, and then we caught it at the end. So let's just do some math here. So we've got a -1 plus a 1.04 plus a 2.11 plus, or I should say a -1. We'll treat these as -1s, although when you do get a couple of losses, you may drop down to 0.5% or a 0.25. Again, we do factor in things, we move to break evens and things like that. We haven't done that today. And then we get a plus 2.71. So get this right, John. -1 plus 1.04. -1 plus 1.04. Plus a 2.11 minus a 1 plus a 2.71. That equals to 3.86. Yeah, so we've got $3.86 growth. Okay, and that is for Monday. let's head into yesterday's. Okay, we had a 4.62 growth for Tuesday. Okay, this is me a little bit smaller, 4.62. So if we do plus a 4.62 equals, okay, and then we head into today. Again, the general consensus for today was we missed the 3% this morning, based upon obviously my kids going up. But I'm honest, I'm open and honest, I didn't take that entry, but going looking back on it and watch this video back, you'll see what I mean. We missed that 3%. We got in, we got the 2%, which was good. We had the bias, the turnaround. We missed another good one. However, still in profit for today. We've won one and lost one. Okay, so we've got, this is pretty easy, to be fair. We've got, because we're going to lose out at 8%. So it's going to be a 1.07% growth. That there is for Wednesday. Okay, put that there. So if we just, for the week, 1.07, we now have a total, and I'm just going to write this into here, going into tomorrow, 9.55% total so far. So there we have it, guys. Sticking with one pair, sticking with one solitary pair. Okay, this could have been so much more based upon what's happened today. However, I'm open, honest, and transparent with everything. I've done it in front of your eyes, not only just today, yesterday, and the day before. This week so far, we could have had, based upon one pair, you don't spread yourself too thin. One pair has been the Euro USD. We could have had an account growth this week of 9.55%. Now that is a first stage pass on any challenge of being funded. Okay, guys. So I hope you're enjoying the series that I'm doing this week. I'm going to continue to do this throughout until Friday. We'll see where we end up for the end of the week. But hey, if I can continue being profitable, taking 1% and 2% from the market every day, I would be happy with that. And I know you guys will be as well. Okay. So if you're seeing some value from this, please remember, there is a join button on my YouTube channel. Please support the channel. There'll be so much more. If I get enough interest, there'll be so much more to come. Eventually, if I get the extra support and the interest, I will then start to do live sessions into the YouTube channel. But again, I need to be able to have the audience and the support from there to be able to know that it's worth the while putting that time and effort into there. Okay, so again, those that are members in there, Sparks Fire members, thank you very much. Your support is greatly appreciated. Again, if you want to get involved with this YouTube channel, you just need to hit the join function or the join button on my YouTube homepage. Okay, so I hope you've found today insightful. I hope you've had a light bulb moment. I hope you've enjoyed the bit of fun that I try to bring to these sessions, and we'll see you tomorrow. Again, I do try to get on for 8 a.m. exactly. However, kids are just going out to school between 8 and 8:15. So a chance to be 8:15 in the morning when I'm back on. Pre-record, I record these, but they're recorded live, and I pause the videos as we go through, so there's no sort of interruptions in between. Okay, guys. So my name's been John, Mr. Forex Fire. I hope you have a great day. Have a safe day. See you later.